Hallo zusammen! Today I want to react to a YouTube colleague of mine, I guess you can say. I really like her channel. I've actually found out about her, I think, a couple of months ago. Kelly does her thing, which is awesome because doing one's thing is like, you know, go for it and stuff. And being a German native speaker, I chose the video 11 German words Americans use all the time. I can actually come up with a couple of them. Like potential ones that could be featured in this video, but we'll see. Maybe I will also be surprised. Let's find out what Kelly actually chose here. Alright, so let's check out Kelly's video in 3, 2, 1, los!
For today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys about 11 different German words that Americans frequently use. These words are referred to as German loanwords, which means we've taken them from the German language and we've incorporated them into our own lexicon.
Very well described actually and very well explained. In German it's das Lehnwort, singular, die Lehnwörter, plural, and we actually have many of them in German from other languages as well. Especially from English, of course, which then would be Anglicisms. And well, even up to the point, I've actually talked about that in a previous video that I did, an interview with a German girl in America, Felicia, where we actually talked about the fact that Germans sometimes use English terms that English speakers or native English speakers don't even use that way. Let's check out which ones she actually chose here.
And the meaning of these words is more or less retained. So the first word is actually my favorite German loanword, which is kaputt. In German, kaputt means broken or not working, and Americans will use kaputt in the same way, or even further, they'll use it as a synonym for exhaustion. Ugh. I am totally kaputt. Oh yeah, what exactly did you do today? I did stuff.
Okay, you totally surprised me with this one, Kelly. That is interesting. Haven't heard of that at all. Like kaputt being a loan word. Interesting. I wonder why that is. Sometimes Germans actually struggle with the spelling because they aren't sure if they are supposed to spell it with 2P and 2T or just 1P and 2T, which would be correct, or 2P and 1T, so that is a term that some Germans might get wrong spelling-wise here and there, but I actually didn't know that was a loanword. Like, interesting. I guess, like many loanwords have a historic origin in terms of them being loanwords in American English, let's say, especially like regarding the German settlers in the 19th century back in the day. They probably brought many German words along, and they got incorporated into the language, into the English. Yeah, in German we also have a cool term for the sum of words in a language, which is der Wortschatz, the word treasure. Big first surprise. Awesome, Kelly. Wow. Nice choice.
The second word is another one of my favorites, schlepp. In German, schleppen means to carry, to drag, to tow, and Americans will use it this way too, typically to describe something that's been a huge burden to carry or to drag because of the weight of the item or perhaps the distance traveled. Americans will further use this word to describe just a simple reluctance to move. Hey, Cal? Callie! Oh my god, what? What do you want? Oh, never mind, I figured it out. You mean you made me schlep all the way over here?
By the way, I really like how you really visualize those words and how they are used in English, American English that is. Schlepp as itself, the term that she mentioned there, doesn't really exist like that in German, like literally, because it would be schleppen. So you would have the suffix en in English at the end, which is the infinite form of every verb in German ends in en. That is interesting, like we wouldn't really use that term that way. I guess you could say something like, ich bin total erschöpft, ich habe mich ins Bett geschleppt. Like I just barely made it to my bed because I'm so exhausted. Ich habe mich ins Bett geschleppt. So, sort of similar. By the way, I actually didn't know about that one either. Maybe that just says more about me, being someone that doesn't really know too much about German loanwords and American English. But interesting, really interesting.
Another German loanword is blitz.
Yeah.
In German, blitz means flash or lightning, and it's been used in a military context, typically when part of the compound word blitzkrieg, which means lightning war and refers to a specific type of warfare that the Germans employed during World War II. And while I don't believe our American military uses blitz or blitzkrieg as part of its tactical terminology, American football does. Oh my god, why are they not running a blitz? It's probably because you're watching basketball. Wait, what?
Der Blitzkrieg, which is der Blitz Singular, die Blitze Plural, the lightning, and der Krieg Singular, die Kriege Plural, the war. I actually first heard about that term when I was in high school back in the day. And like a couple of my friends actually came around with the Ramones and their song Blitzkrieg Bob, which is a pretty fun, cool song, I think. But yeah, and then I just realized, okay, Blitzkrieg? Blitzkrieg? What? Huh? Okay, interesting term. I actually didn't know about that one before.
The next German loanword is kindergarten. Kindergarten in German means nursery school, and it's more or less the same in the US. American students will attend 1 year of kindergarten before entering the first grade.
Okay, I mean, that is probably the most typical German loanword there is in English. She actually spelled it in the German way, and I actually don't know if it's spelled like that in English, is it? Like kindergarten? Wouldn't it be garden with a D instead of a T in English? Or maybe you guys have also adopted the German spelling there. I am actually not too sure about that. We love us some complement words every now and then, pretty much all the time. Translated literally, it means the children garden, der Kindergarten, right? So it's das Kind, Singular, die Kinder, Plural, the child, and der Garten, Singular, die Gärten, Plural, the garden. And you might have noticed the umlaut in Gärten. The time period in which an American child is in kindergarten is way shorter than in German, like in Germany. If I'm not mistaken. And I think that is way longer in Germany, actually, because sometimes, like, little children from the age of, I don't know, actually, maybe 3 or 4, they start going to the kindergarten up until they are 6 or in some cases even 7 years old. And then they actually switch over to the elementary school, which, by the way, is die Grundschule, Singular, die Grundschulen, Plural.
The fifth German loanword is doppelganger. Doppelganger in German means double or look-alike, and in the US we use it more or less the same to describe someone who looks identical to another person.
Again, another typical one, I'd say. And if I'm not mistaken, I've actually seen both spellings with an A, with an A, and with the actual umlaut doppelganger in English as well. A related term to doppelganger, and especially the first part, which is doppel, would be doppelt. Doppelt usually means, okay, doubled, just 2, not more.
Another German loanword is über, which translates to over, but is sometimes used as a superlative to describe something that is particularly outstanding. And aside from the company Uber, Americans will use the word Uber in very much the same way. Hey, you want to go to that Uber hipster restaurant downtown tonight for dinner? Kelly, for the 18th time, we are in quarantine. We cannot go to restaurants. Oh, yeah.
Really nice examples there. Yeah, Uber, which is actually über in German, with the umlaut ü, like a U with 2 dots over it. Ü, über. It's actually a preposition. Something is above something. Über would be above. You might have heard of the term der Übermensch, which is a, well, sort of philosophical, but also political term to describe someone that is superior to someone else, like humans that are superior to other humans because of certain character traits. Weird concept, to say the least, but yeah. That is, for instance, where that is used. Or you might know that from a phrase like Deutschland über alles, which isn't a cool phrase to say these days. It's heavily attached to the Third Reich and the Nazi regime.
And the last and final German loanword I will talk about in this video is nix. Nix is a dialect version of the German word nichts, which means nothing. And Americans will sometimes use the word nix as the pronoun nothing, but far more frequently they will use it as a verb to mean cancel or put an end to. Hey, so that trip that we were supposed to take to Italy in June, is that still happening, or nope? We're probably gonna have to nix that one. Yeah, that's...
See, that is what I love about languages. And I don't care if it's German or English or any other language out there, really, because working with terms creatively and using them in other ways that aren't there or that haven't been there before in their original language is totally cool. And, you know, especially when something like that becomes a real thing and many people use it that way. She explained it really well, even though I would say that it isn't primarily dialectal. Usually it's nichts with CHTS, and in this case it's an X. Nix. It's more a colloquial, a general colloquial version of that term. Germans don't use it as a verb, but rather only as an adverb. So you might have noticed that I skipped a couple of words in her video, which was because I also want you to check out her video and the rest of it. Feel free to check out her channel. Kelly does her thing. Really, really cool channel, I think. Also a really likable YouTuber who really has found a cool way to explain those things in everyday life situations, which I think is really important and cool. And if you know of more videos like this one or similar videos that you would like me to react to, being a German native speaker and a language teacher here on YouTube, feel free to let me know and to mail me those links on social media, for instance. So yeah, greatly appreciate it. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm your Vlog Dave. Tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal.